Alright everyone, how you guys doing? I wasn't going to do this video, but with the number of tweets and YouTube messages that I got, I thought I would put this video out there. Now this video is not going to be a spec by spec, what did Apple release at the event yesterday. If you don't know what Apple released, then I don't know what to say, and you should probably check the Apple website or John 4 Lakers maybe. I'm going to talk about the differences between the iPhone 4S and the new iPhone 5, should you be getting it, and my general thoughts on the Apple event itself. New design versus old design. Why the new design is better for a person, I'm not too sure, other than being lighter and smaller and thinner. Why is that still good? It might not be good for some, it may be good for some, but it's not a reasoning why you should be going out and getting an iPhone 5 over an iPhone 4S. The next part is the chipsets, the processor, A6 versus the old dual-core A5. Whether that is really going to help you, it's only for you to decide what kind of applications you run. 4-inch screen versus 3.5-inch. Remember the time where Apple said 3.5-inch was the perfect and the only smartphone screen to be out there? How wrong were they, eh? LTE versus no LTE, and I'll discuss this in the upcoming rant soon. Front facing cameras in HD versus the VGA found on the iPhone 4S, and a 3-point speaker system, which is amazing for, you know, the likes of myself, vlogging and stuff. So the front facing camera plus a speaker system is a quite nice addition. And last but not least, a slightly better standby and talk time. So the $1 million question here is, should you be upgrading from the 4S to the 5? And a number of tweets from my timeline today kind of caught my eye, and Katie, fellow YouTuber, she posted, and if you are getting £400 for a 16 gig iPhone 4S, that is pretty good. The way I see it, you're going to get £400, adding on £130 is going to give you all these features. Which, needless to say, I would pay for if you put £30 next to each of these features. I mean, the thing that does it for me in total for the iPhone 5, it's not the processor, it's not the design, it's not LTE, it's to do with the front-facing HD camera and the 3-point speaker system. That is what it does for me, but everyone's on their own kind of game. If you're getting anything less than 400, I would seriously question whether you really need to upgrade from a 4S. If you are coming from a 3GS or a 4, then the 5 totally makes sense. You know, it's a fantastic upgrade for your money. Not so much from a 4S angle, in my opinion. So now that the technical aspect and whether you should get the iPhone 5 is out the way, just generally what I thought about the Apple event. Boring. And you know, I'm excited for the features. I totally didn't expect an HD camera, totally didn't expect, you know, LTE. Why would they put a faster processor in the iPhone 5? Of course they were going to put a faster, everything's going to be fast, and all the previous reiterations of the iPhone 5, they've just made things fast. In the past, when I've viewed an Apple event, I liked the fact that everything was kind of revealed on the day, or you didn't have any prior knowledge to it. You know, there were very few leaks, and even those leaks just turned out to be completely wrong. But this event was just like, oh yeah, I seen that a few months back. Oh yeah, Mac Rumours posted a video 4 weeks back. Oh, that was on Sky News just 2 weeks ago. Literally, for those of you saying, you know what, Zen, you follow Mac's stories and Mac Rumour blogs, you know, of course you're going to be disappointed about the announcement. No. Visiting blogs is different to viewing it on mainstream media. So when you were picking up a newspaper, or I don't know where you guys in specific are located, but here in the UK it was on Channel 4 News, Sky News, the BBC. You picked up the metro and the bus or the train, they had full articles on it, so you couldn't really escape or, you know, miss what is happening with the tech side of things. I guess what I'm really trying to say here is, just to sum this part up, is I wasn't wowed or, you know, held back by what I seen. I was like, yeah, I seen that, oh yeah, cool. But you know, if I hadn't seen all of this stuff prior to the event, I would have probably be like, wow, you know, that is pretty good, you know, design wise. But everything from the design to the internals, it was all leaked months ago. And I guess that aspect of watching an Apple event, those of you who watch keynotes know exactly what you watch the keynote for, to see what Apple surprises us with. And it just seemed like there was no surprise. As the keynote was progressing, you're like, I don't know about you guys, but I was just shaking my head, because I was like, okay, move on, just move on. And iTunes warranted a whole 15-20 minute segment. Right, moving on to LTE. This is one of the features that I could care less about. If I have a wish list, which I did have a wish list for the iPhone 5, this was right at the bottom / not even on it, because most of the carriers here in the UK are not going to be compatible with it until next year. The only network is Orange and T-Mobile, who have now merged, and they are going to be milking anyone who wants to go LTE. If you don't think they're going to be making you know, tons of money out of this by passing the charges, of course they have to, because you know, they're the only network, they can charge what they like. And to be honest, am I the only person who sees 3G as perfectly fine? I guess if you stay in London, central London, or really high populated areas, 3G might be really crap for you. And who stays in Scotland anyway? But 3G is pretty much really good for me. It always has. The odd occasion where it slips into Edge network, which is crap. But of course LTE has all this fast stuff. But the thing is, O2, Tesco and all these other companies, 3 Mobile's not going to get it until the first half of next year. It's a complete waste of feature, and to be honest, it doesn't interest me to the slightest. Next up, Lightning port. This is another ridiculous thing that was kind of mentioned at the keynote. Basically, it is your dock connector, and it's remained the same since the iPhone launched. And there is nothing kind of new about it, other than the only decent thing, and even that I question, is it's, you know, reversible. It doesn't matter which way you put the dock, and that is it. It's smaller, it's thinner. I can't believe they actually mentioned it's 20% smaller than the previous dock connector. Who cares? It's a friggin' dock connector. Why is it going to be useful to me? What is it going to do for me? Why is it going to make the experience better? Initially, when I was watching the keynote and this part came on, I was like, okay, they're going to mention faster syncing. It didn't turn up. I would have liked to see faster syncing. And the thing is, one end of it is the Lightning port, the new port, and the other end is USB. So I kind of thought to myself, how is that really going to work if faster syncing is there, because it's still using the USB interface? What would have been cool is Lightning port on one side and a Thunderbolt port on the other going into your Mac. That could have possibly made faster syncing, and I'm sure come the iPhone 5S or the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 7 that is going to be the case. Other thing would have been good is faster charging. Technically, I'm not too sure if that is doable through a faster data connection cable, but I'm sure if it was powered by Thunderbolt, it could have been faster charging. That would have been nice. That would have been useful for the user, not because it's thinner or it's new. And to top it all off, the rounds of ridiculous. If you want to still use you have to buy an accessory, an Apple accessory, which is going to cost about £29, or I believe a bit more, just so that you can use your previous accessories. So moving on to screen size, and this is actually also funny, and I find this amusing. Apple and Steve Jobs have also always kind of said in previous keynotes that, you know, 3.5 inch is the perfect screen size for a mobile device. You know, it's just easier to the eyes and easier to carry about. You don't want a tablet to be, you know, in your pocket and whatever. But now with all these Android devices and all these other manufacturers bringing their phones out, 4 inch is becoming popular, and Apple now decide, hey, you know what? 4 inch is actually good. You can view more stuff on a 4 inch screen versus a 3.5 inch screen. No shit, Sherlock. It's actually identical to the situation in 2010 when the iPad came out, and a few months down the line manufacturers were announcing 7 inch versions of tablets, and all the Apple blogosphere and all the Apple kind of reporters and authors were saying, oh no, 7 inch doesn't make sense and this and that. This year, those same people are saying that 7 inch is good. A 7 inch iPad makes sense. Panorama view is another feature that was mentioned in the keynote, and I'm pretty certain this is available through other third-party apps. Only now has Apple kind of made it a bit more built into the Apple sphere, making it easier so you don't need to download the apps and so on. What's more is, if you have an iPhone 4S, you will get this feature come iOS 6, so you don't have to upgrade your phone to an iPhone 5 to make most of this feature, even although you could technically go into the App Store and download a third-party application and mess around with it. So all in all, in conclusion, the iPhone 5 is a superb phone, the best smartphone by Apple, you know, by miles. It looks really nice, the features inside it are really nice. It's just purely down to I was not excited about the event at all, and you know, with Tim Cook doubling down on security, that clearly didn't happen when you've got online press, the blog side of things, and you've got traditional media talking about it, doing segments on it, breaking news. So yeah, that was probably a huge downer in terms of, you know, the release and stuff. In terms of whether you should get it, just watch the first half of the video, but you know, LTE is not the reason why you should be getting this phone. Lightning port is not the reason why you should be getting this phone. The design is not the reason why you should be getting this phone, because there is nothing to say why this is going to change your life or make it better for you. The processor, is that going to change life for you? Is the front-facing HD camera, how many of you vlog or use the front-facing camera, is it going to make a difference for you? And if the answer to all of these is no, then you can probably save yourself some money and buy a second-hand 4S. Just being honest, bro. But ladies and gents, that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. I really did want it to give it a day, kind of sink everything in, watch the keynote for myself, and then put this video out. If I'd done this video yesterday, I would be just making, I would be in a more angrier mood, shall I say. But I just wanted to kind of give it at least a day for everything to sink in, and just you know, have proper thoughts on the case. And I hope it's going to help some of you. Getting an iPhone 5, pre-order start tomorrow at 8 AM online. If you are going to be getting one, I would suggest having your finger ready at 8 AM, because in the past we've seen come midday you won't get the first batch of iPhones released on the 21st, so you'll get it maybe end of September or first week of October or something, so just be ready. Feel free to, and I hope every single one of you is going to comment below and give me your thoughts on the iPhone event. I've had tons and tons of tweets, and I think this must be the sole event where I've had so many tweets, people just disappointed with the iPhone 5. And I am not the only one with this whole secrecy thing, because there's tons of you who had the same kind of feeling, that you weren't excited because nothing new was announced. So please leave your comments below, video responses are welcome, and before you go, watch this cool video. See you in the next one. Cheers! So guys, I hope you liked that video. This is everything that I was carrying in my iGear 22 jacket. The best part of this is You can simply put it on the airport scanner and you're good to go without the need of unloading every single thing. This jacket caters for it all. A pocket for this and a pocket for that, 22 pockets, you cannot go wrong. If you're not a fan of long sleeve jackets or you're in a climate where it's generally hot, not to worry, there is an iGear vest. Essentially the same thing as a 22, it's got 18 pockets, nice fabric on the front, fleece material inside, so if you're still in a colder climate, this would still do you pretty well. Still got the MacBook Air pocket, the iPad, everything. Use your iPhone from right within the pocket. I hope you liked the video. If you can like, favourite and comment, that would be absolutely fantastic. If you yourself own an iGear garment, feel free to leave a video response to show me and the rest of the world as to what you carry in your iGear vest. Thanks very much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!